Hi, I'm Katrina. You're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So William Zepeda versus Farmer Part 2 is concluded. William Zepeda, he wins a majority decision in a rematch that should have honestly never even taken place. Instead, he should have been fighting the champion that has been chasing him, Shakur Stevenson. Now, when it comes to Shakur Stevenson and Matchroom, the plan for a while had always been to fight William Zepeda, and then after William Zepeda, fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Once again, just in case I didn't say it in this video, William Zepeda is Shakur Stevenson's #1 contender. So he's supposed to be the one calling out the champion. Instead, it's the other way around. It's crazy because you always hear Mexican commentator Sergio Mora during the broadcast, he's always saying Mexicans are built different, talking about the type of heart that they have. So how come William Zepeda hasn't showed this heart when it comes to getting in the ring with Shakur Stevenson or Gervonta Tank Davis? Because William Zepeda, he could easily get a fight with either one of those champions. So I was really interested in listening to the post-fight interview to see exactly what William Zepeda was going to say about fighting Shakur Stevenson and what DAZN's commentators were going to ask William Zepeda about Shakur Stevenson. Well, it was Claudia Trejos who was interviewing William Zepeda, and she didn't even bring up Shakur Stevenson's name. For those of you guys who are not too familiar with Claudia Trejos, she is one of the most racially biased commentators in the sport of boxing. She called the Richardson-Hitchens versus Liam Paro fight, and this is what she said while she was calling the fight on DAZN. She said he's running like Mayweather. He ran his mouth all week before the fight to be doing nothing in the fight. He's like the ice cream man, all music but no ice cream. And once again, guys, she's saying all of this during the fight, so it wasn't like this was some personal text. There was another card I watched where she was doing the post-fight interviews. And I remember there were two fights in particular I paid attention to. There were two Mexican guys that fought, and it went to decision. There were no knockdowns or anything. It went 12 rounds or 10 rounds. And after the fight, she's interviewing the Mexican guy who's won. She's praising him, congratulating him. The very next fight, it was an Afro-Puerto Rican guy that was fighting a Mexican fighter. Well, the Puerto Rican, he ended up knocking out the Mexican fighter. She gets in the ring, she interviews the Puerto Rican guy, and she asks him, why did it take him so long to knock the guy out? And when she asked this question, she's not being sarcastic, because then she followed that question up by saying, why did you struggle with him before you knocked him out? She's also the same person that publicly defended Ryan Garcia after he got caught cheating against Devin Haney. While she disses Devin Haney, she praises Ryan Garcia for his performance. But she obviously had nothing to say about the racist stuff that Ryan Garcia said. So now that I've given you a little bit of her credentials, you guys could kind of understand why she did not even mention Shakur Stevenson's name during this post-fight interview. It's because she knows that Shakur Stevenson will most likely win that fight, and she does not want to put pressure on William Zepeda when it comes to him having to fight Shakur. Because she, like a lot of other Mexican fans, they don't even want to see that fight if they think the Mexican fighter is going to lose to a Black American fighter. She didn't even want to ask the question that interviewers always ask after a fight, which is, what's next? That question is always asked to the fighter. But once again, she doesn't want to ask that question, because she knows the only logical next step for William Zepeda would be a title fight. And we know who the champions are: Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Lomachenko. I just thought about this right now. How is it possible Keyshawn Davis, he's only been a pro for 4 years, and he's already a world champion? Meanwhile, William Zepeda has been a pro for 10 years, and he's still not a world champion. It just goes to show you guys the levels that exist in the sport of boxing and the type of confidence that a William Zepeda has versus the confidence that a Keyshawn Davis has. I mean, it's completely ridiculous to think about the fact that Shakur Stevenson is one of DAZN's biggest stars. He's a way bigger star than William Zepeda. William Zepeda fights and nobody even knows that he fights. No one pays attention. He doesn't sell tickets. He doesn't sell out arenas. He doesn't even fight in arenas. If you guys look at the venue he fought Farmer in, it looked a little bit bigger than a high school basketball court. But if William Zepeda fights Shakur Stevenson, he will be in a big fight for the very first time in his career because he's fighting against Shakur. But yet none of the commentators, the entire night that they were calling fights, none of the commentators ever even mentioned Shakur Stevenson's name at all, or any of the champions at that matter. So William Zepeda is pretty much stuck in this Jaime Munguia situation. I'm talking about way before Munguia fought Canelo. If you guys recall, he used to be the #1 contender for Demetrius Andrade and Jamal Charlo's belt when he was fighting at middleweight. He was their #1 contender for over a year, but Munguia never wanted to fight the champions. And neither does William Zepeda. Now, there's still a chance he may get in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. Maybe some pressure will be put on him to take this fight. Or maybe William Zepeda, he will just give up his #1 position. It's been done before. Virgil Ortiz, he did it when he was Crawford's #1 contender at welterweight. I'm gonna wrap this video up by saying this. It's really time for these promoters and these networks to really start putting pressure on these fighters to take the best fights and stop allowing them to cherry pick and take meaningless fights that no one wants to see or no one even cares about. No one wanted to see a rematch against Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer has been over the hill for years. And here William Zepeda is giving him a rematch when he could have fought for a title instead. I remember when Richardson Hitchens was fighting against Liam Paro. The commentators, they were trying to promote a Liam Paro versus George Kambosos fight already, at a time that George Kambosos is very irrelevant in the sport now, coming off of multiple losses. But yet during the William Zepeda fight, they don't even mention the champion Shakur Stevenson in a fight that would be very relevant. We know what time it is. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com.
Like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.